time for money. The world class trades ideas for money. Once you get a grasp of this concept, your financial future is limitless. Because anytime you want more money, all you have to do is come up with an idea that solves a problem people are willing to pay for. And here's the kicker. Watch this. If there are no limits to the ideas you can come up with, there can be no limit to the wealth you can build. Did you get that? I know you heard me say it, but did you really get it? Please suspend any disbelief you have about this because, just for a few seconds, suspend your disbelief, okay? Do you realize the magnitude of this concept? There is an unlimited supply of money waiting to be delivered to your doorstep in exchange for your problem-solving ideas. So instead of worrying about money, take that same mental energy currently being directed toward worry and fear and redirect it toward problem-solving ideas. If this sounds like airy-fairy, hocus-pocus, hang in there a little longer and I'll prove my point. This one subtle shift in thinking could be worth a fortune for you and your family. Let me give you an example of how this works. Several years ago, I wanted to buy a motorcycle, and my wife was not happy about it. She kept saying it was too dangerous, and she really didn't want me to get it. So like any smart husband, 22 years experience, I patiently worked on wearing her down until I could strike at exactly the right moment. Look, I've been married since dinosaurs roamed the earth, and you get good at this stuff after a while. I waited and waited until my opportunity presented itself. I was working at the house one day, and Dawn, my wife, called me from our corporate office. She said, I just went over last week's sales figure, Steve, and we're short about $10,000. So I said, well, what happened, Dawn? And she said, nothing. It was just a slow week. And that's when the idea hit me over the head. I said, hey, Dawn, I'll make you a deal. If I can bring you $10,000 over to the office this afternoon, will you let me buy the motorcycle? And she said, Steve, it's not about the money. It's just dangerous and I don't want you to get hurt. And I said, I know, I get it. But I'll bet you I can produce $10,000 out of thin air in the next 2 hours. She said, how are you going to do that, hot dog? I said, none of your beeswax, Buster. But if I do it, you have to let me get the bike. And she said, fine. You produce 10 grand in 2 hours and you can buy the bike. I said, great, gotta go. So I sat there at my home office desk trying to come up with an idea to produce the cash. It took me about 20 minutes. I thought to myself, okay, what have my customers been asking for that I haven't delivered yet? And it hit me. I'm always getting emails from people that subscribe to our weekly quotes about how they can market themselves, and I always told them the same thing. I speak and write about mental toughness, not marketing, and they always reply with the same request. Just teach me how you've marketed your own business. And I would always say, no, I don't do that. Long story short, I wrote an email to our database telling them I would conduct a live teleseminar on the topic for 6 weeks. And it was worth at least $1,000 a person. I was willing to sell it for $297 for the first 50 people who registered. Within 2 hours, 54 people signed up online for a total of $16,038. I walked into the office, smiled at my wife, and went out and bought my motorcycle, baby. Right now I have to take another break, but on the other side, I'll give you more world-class thinking tools as well as a cautionary tale of the dangers of coaching other people in this process. Don't go away. Going back to the motorcycle story, what I would have done in the old days was what I learned in college, which was trade time for money. World-class thinking led me to think of an idea that I could trade